Hey guys, my name is Ryan, this is the Analytic Gengar, and welcome to another episode of TCG Toolbox. Today, I have a brief story for you. So recently, I was lucky enough to come into a whole bunch of really cool vintage packs. So EX Deoxys, Pop Series 5s, EX Fire Red and Leaf Green. And what was really cool was that I was really happy to add some of this vintage stuff to my collection of unopened Pokemon cards. But I did have one glaring question. How am I going to store this stuff? And unfortunately, people had various answers for me. So over on Instagram, people were telling me this stuff, and then over on eBay, people were recommending this stuff, and I was just really confused. What really drove me over the edge, though, was this monstrosity. This really cool pack of cards, pardon my transformer camera, came over to us from eBay, and what I think is amazing is that it came in this baggie, and I was just really confused because the pack itself is minty fresh. As you can see, no folded corners, no kind of like craziness, but I was really confused because I hated the fact that it came in like such a weird baggie. If you're like me, you like really organized binders and, very sorted Pokemon cards, so this just really kind of confused me and threw me off. So, that said, I decided to do some research. Now, at this point, you might be stopping and saying to yourself, whoa, Ryan, you're getting ahead of yourself, man. You're a big PSA collector. How come you just don't have the packs graded by PSA? Well, two reasons why. One, unfortunately, packs are usually not given the same consideration of delicacy that cards are. So typically, what you end up seeing is situations where the cards usually are a lot better condition than the foil packaging is. The second reason is because PSA cards are the same size as baseball cards, are the same size as Pokemon cards. So when you get a card slabbed by PSA, it's the same generic case, but it technically fits all cards, all trading cards, including but not limited to Pokemon, baseball, football, you name it. The issue and the history, as you can see on screen, behind the whole why are Pokemon packs folded over, as you can see on screen right now, in PSA graded boosters, is because from 1930 to 1991, believe it or not, wax paper that was heat sealed was used as the packaging and wrapping for trading cards. If you go on PSA's website, you'll actually see reference to this in their grading schedule. So they basically go ahead and say that wax stains are a big thing that detract from the grade, and in case you're ever curious where a wax stain may come from, it's from vintage cards, trading cards, published anywhere between the 1930 and 1991 that would have had wax paper wrapping around them. Back in 1991, Upper Deck introduced foil packaging, like what we have on Pokemon cards today, as the new way to store cards because cards were going up in value and the wax paper was actually damaging trading cards that would have otherwise been worth tons of money. So, as a result, PSA went about grading their cards utilizing the wax paper packaging. Now, wax paper packaging, as you can see on screen, is pretty much tight to the card. So if you have a card, there's not that much hangover. However, right here we have a pack of Hidden Fates, and what you notice is that I'm going to go ahead and fold this. This is effectively the surface area for Pokemon cards. So this is what a wax pack of Pokemon cards would have looked like, and unfortunately this is what a foiled pack of Pokemon cards looks like, and this overlay is kind of where they crimp it shut. So unfortunately, what ended up happening is whenever you have a Pokemon card booster pack graded, this is what it ends up looking like. Now, I think that's kind of weird, because believe it or not, they give you the same grade from a 1 to 10 score that you would get on a Pokemon card. But what's interesting to me is that you're going to give me a 10, and then you're going to fold my foil over and basically ruin it. Now, Then you're going to encase it, sonically seal it, and then technically I'm not supposed to be able to open it ever again. Again, I thought it was hilarious. I'm still really confused. I don't blame PSA, and by the way, this isn't just a video just, you know, womping them down. I think they're doing the best that they can with the technology that they have, right? Because Pokemon is still a growing hobby as opposed to baseball, and wax card packs are still very prevalent. So I think in the future there may be opportunities for them to accommodate for packs like this one that sort of have a little bit of foil overlay on them. But I think currently the best that they can do is sort of offer us the same template in terms of the cases that they acrylically slab these things into, and honestly that's okay. But for me as a collector, I decided it might be better that I spend my time sort of thinking about and developing new ways to store my cards, and unfortunately there's not a lot of research out there about it. So in this video we hope to teach you something new about how to store your cards. So after much research and going on to, big shout out to the folks on Reddit, by the way, because they kind of helped me in the right direction. The first thing I found was these guys, these Ultra Pro sleeves, 70 by 120 millimeter. So these are, believe it or not, tarot card sleeves. So shout out to anyone from that community who may be joining us. But this is what I found, and ironically enough, this is what a single sleeve looks like. These are Ultra Pro sleeves. Just so you know, I'm a huge fan of Ultra Pro. I try to get, you know, brand name stuff whenever I can. The only thing I usually don't get are penny sleeves, because the whole point of a penny sleeve is that it's worth a penny no matter who made it. And what I found is that this sleeve overlays this card perfectly. So just so you know, I am going to do this live on camera, high tensile stuff, but so my first bit of research led me to this amazing discovery that tarot card sleeves actually fit Pokemon cards perfectly. So here is a perfect example of the sleeves that I got fitting a Hidden Fates pack. Crisp seal. As you can see, I can run my finger across the top, no foil overlay. Just so you know, this EX Deoxys pack, same thing, sealed perfectly at the top, and this Pop Series 5 also perfectly encased. So these are three perfect examples of cards that are being now sleeved, and believe it or not, have a little bit of rigidity to them. So yeah, there's what I love about this is that it's not folded over anymore, so you can see the entire length of the Pokemon card, and that's actually very valuable to me as a collector because I want to be able to show these bad guys off, or these bad boys off rather. Bad guys just sounds weird. But yeah, so step one is to get some tarot card sleeves and sleeve them up. Just so you guys know, all of this stuff will be tagged down below with the official name. I'm not sponsored, nor do I sort of recommend one over the other, so I'm going to give you guys the names of the exact stuff that I use, and then you can go ahead and purchase, be it on Amazon, eBay, a private seller, or whatever have you. Now, the one thing I will say is that I have tested these tarot card sleeves for regular packs of cards. These EX Deoxys cards, for example, were out of a booster box. I don't know, and I can probably tell you right now, they will not fit long packs that used to sell on the shelves. That's a very niche market, however. My assumption is that even if I were to open this box right here, it would also fit perfectly this pack of cards as well. That's just there for show because I needed something to fill the background. Now, next up, once you have them sleeved, is boom, Card Saver 3s. So Card Saver is a really cool semi-rigid plastic protector for cards. Just so you know, we do a video where we do Card Saver versus Top Loader, what the difference is. I use Card Saver 1s. So in case you're curious, this is the Card Saver 3, and they come in a variety of different sizes. What's really cool about them is that they fit different cards. So Card Saver 3s are actually for tall boy or tall trading cards. And in case you're curious about the history of them, tall boy cards were cards that were released back in the 1970s. Things like basketball cards, football cards. They had the same base width as regular trading cards. However, they were significantly taller than your average trading card. So this is what a Card Saver 3 looks like. It's basically a Card Saver, just longer. And in case you're curious, that's right folks, it's a perfect fit for our trading cards. So I will now attempt a live placement of one of these into a Card Saver. Now in case you're curious, I have a theory that Card Savers are literally out to get me, but whatever. And as you can see, it's a bit of a tight squeeze, but you actually kind of want that. Believe it or not, you actually do kind of want that. And as you can see, after a little bit of finagling, these cards will actually fit perfectly in this pack. Now, I'm not going to attempt to do this on camera, but rather, I will speed this up very. Hey guys, we are back, and this is our completed stored booster pack. So, yeah, I am going to demonstrate on camera how I ended up getting it in. In case you're curious, it is a little bit of a tight fit, but came up with a pretty easy solution on how to get them in there and get them in there safely. Because obviously, like I've stated in the past, Card Savers can be a bit tricky, and you can actually end up damaging the card. So I don't want that to happen to anybody. So here's a little trick that I found. So the Tarot card holder sleeve is pretty, you know, dicey in there, but if you have a piece of cardstock or even a piece of cardboard, something, you know, a little firmer than regular paper, what I do is I actually just run this down the back of the card. And this is a full length of paper, by the way. So this is what it ends up looking like. In case you're curious, that's how much I paid for the card. So it ends up looking something like this. Then I just go ahead and open up the Card Saver very quickly and pop it in. And then I just use the cardstock to sort of push down and guide the sleeve. And if you want, you could even technically remove the pack right now. But you really just want to push down, and you can see that as I'm pushing, there you go, the card sleeve is getting deeper and deeper in there. Once it hits the bottom, then you just sort of pull out. I like to pinch part of the foil on the card, and then we can just go ahead and slide that in right there, and there you go. One very clean, very neat, very well protected Pokemon card, Pop Series 5, and that sucker's not really going anywhere, so all is well in the hood. And there you go. And then we'll just do that again very quickly for our last one, just so you see another technique. So this one might be a little challenging. So I admit the Pop Series is only 2 cards, and the EX Deoxys is 9. This Hidden Fates is going to be 10 cards. So immediately you sort of see it's a little bit chunkier, which is probably going to be very interesting. So what I would even argue is maybe take this out real quick, just to sort of save space. And then just sort of play that weird awkward game where you like open up the Card Saver. And it does need a little bit of rigidity to it to sort of have a chance at getting in. But once it's in, you just gotta kind of work with it a little bit and it'll go in. And the last thing you do now is just find the lip in the sleeve itself, make sure the card is all lined up, and drop the pack of cards in nice and tidy into its brand new home. Ta-da! And there you go. Another well packaged, well preserved, no kind of damage to come to you type of pack. If you want, slight adjustments can be made all the way down. And there you go. nice and clean. So yeah, guys, that is the tall boy and tarot card method of card collecting. As you can see, I demonstrated a couple different ways you can sort of get the sleeve into it, and then, you know, once there, it's very nicely done. There's a lot that sort of goes into making sure that they're protected, and then, you know, these are card savers, these are tarot sleeves, so you have a sleeve and a protector. You're in a good spot, I think, when you have this stuff on. So in case you're curious, that is how you protect them. The last thing, of course, would be, where do I put them? Unfortunately, we're not all as great as these blister packs to hang on a store shelf, so I actually ended up getting this box, and you can't even see it, ironically, but if you put the cards in there, they're actually pretty decently placed. So in case you're curious, here's a picture of how they look in the box once they're all done. But yeah, it's pretty cool, because at least this way you know the cards are safe, you know the cards are sound. I got that from my local Michaels, so in case you're curious, that's where you can get a photo box that holds 4x6 pictures, and wouldn't you know it, these guys right here are a little under 6 inches long, so they fit perfectly in the box. But yeah, guys, thanks again for joining today's video. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. If you have any suggestions, leave them down below in the comments. I personally like this method the best. It might be a little convoluted, especially if you gotta kind of finagle stuff in there, but honestly, I prefer it because I know for a fact the cards are very well protected and very well preserved. But yeah, let us know down below. Do you have a preferred method? Do you agree with this method? Do you think this method could be improved? Thanks again for checking out our video, guys. We really appreciate it. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and if you really feel like you like the content, subscribe. We're a growing YouTube channel, so every subscription helps seriously. Don't forget to follow us over on Instagram as well. Tons of content coming out that way. And if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, or feel free to DM us. Thanks again for joining, guys. We hope you had a great time. We hope you learned something new. And thanks again for joining. Peace.